Hello. Howdy. Hi. I'm Ophelia, and I am glad that you could stop by. Whether you're a seeker, a skeptic, or someone who just stumbled in to see what the fuss is about, welcome. If you're here to argue, hey, that's cool too. Stick around. You'll find a lot of content. This is a space for asking the big, weird, and sometimes uncomfortable questions, the kind that keep you up at night or pop into your head while taking a shower. And no, we don't count what's for dinner as deep unless you're trying to unlock the mysteries of time through leftovers, in which case pizza or popcorn would make a good study of that. I like to think of this as less of a lecture and more of a wandering conversation. Just you and me hanging out with the universe, trying to make sense of everything that's going on. Because let's be honest, it's a mess out there. Between the constant noise, misinformation, and everyone with a keyboard declaring that they have the one and only answer, it's hard to know who or what to trust. And so that's why I'm glad you're here. Because in all this chaos, asking better questions is how we get closer to the truth. So stick around. This little introduction will tell you what I do here, what you can expect, and why I think that we all, no matter who we are, have something to learn. Sound good? Cool. Let's dive in. Here we're going to sit with some big questions, some messy ones, and questions about life, death, transformation, conspiracies, science, and the cycles that pull us through it all. I don't have the answers wrapped up in a neat little bow, and frankly, I wouldn't test anyone who said that they did, and neither should you. Instead, I am going to show you the clues that I found so that you can come to your own conclusions. The good and the bad, the shadows and the light that we carry, our doubts, our habits, our fears, they're not arbitrary. They're signposts and clues pointing us through the loop, what could happen and how to navigate our earthly journey. It calls us to make deliberate choices to move forward, embracing the process as a path to alignment and evolution. On my channel, we dig into the mystery, with only a little lemon light sprinkled in for good measure. Because to evolve, we have to challenge ourselves and face the uncomfortable and dive headlong into it. The ancients understood the mysteries that we'll discuss. In every myth, every story that survived time, the hero doesn't escape their shadow. They face it, walk through it, and come out changed. So what is that change but evolution? Cognitive growth. Transformation doesn't happen to you. It's something that you do. And it's not about becoming a better person, it's about breaking free of the loop. The patterns that bind us, the habits that we inherit, the cycles that we don't realize that we're stuck in. If you're paying attention, you'll see these loops everywhere. In your life, in current events, in history, in the myths passed down through every culture. The flood that wipes the slate clean, the hero falsely accused overcoming his challenges, the prophets, the chosen ones, or the elect overcoming their trials and revealing truths that ripple forward through time. These are maps of consciousness, pointing us to kernels of truth and discernment. Newton said energy can't be created or destroyed, only transformed. So what happens when we look at human consciousness through that lens? If Fibonacci spirals show up in the patterns of nature, then our experiences through time must move through the same way, expanding outward in loops, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, month after month, year after year. There is a new cycle waiting to be uncovered. Eon after eon shows us something greater: birth, death, rebirth, destruction, creation, and back again. The question isn't if you'll face the same shadows, the same lessons, it's how. And will you recognize them? Will you act differently? Because the loop doesn't close until you do. The grand loop doesn't close until humanity does. And that's the difference between wandering aimlessly and evolving. You don't break free by thinking your way out of it. You break free by doing. Acts, choices, practice. Because the myths tell us something science is only starting to catch up with. That overcoming, transcending what doesn't serve us, isn't just personal, it's how we as a species push forward. Cognitive development doesn't happen passively. It's earned step by step through the actions that we take and the truths that we embrace. And this is humanity's cocoon. Here we embrace challenges and uncertainty, navigating one question, one truth, and one act of recognition at a time. A little bit of truth from one story reveals the next step in the journey. The step that completes a cycle, brings understanding, and moves you, and all of us, towards something new. Transformation builds like a fractal, each layer amplifying the last, waiting for the moment of decisive change. Are you ready to explore uncharted patterns, or will the familiar draw you back into its rhythm? Whether you see it or not, you're already an active thread in the story of humanity. What we have been and what we might become. The myths, the cycles, revealed through history, nature, and science suggest a deeper truth, that every moment matters. Each choice ripples outward, shaping not just ourselves, but the larger framework of human evolution. This isn't a question of if, but when, and this is your invitation. An invitation to step into the unknown, follow the signposts, and dig into the lessons encoded by the subconscious as messages for your soul, guiding you to understand the universe and what humanity really is. I'm here to help guide you through the murk and ooze to the answers that are hidden in the depths and behind the veil of time. We'll wander through the wisdom of the past, poke at the questions of the present, and dream of the possibilities of the future. We're diving into the threads that weave everything together, the connections that reveal themselves when you start to look with fresh eyes. These questions demanding curiosity and critical thinking, sparking a deeper understanding of the patterns that shape our existence. They lead us to uncover truths that resonate, truths that link us to cycles and rhythms that guide everything we experience. The answers emerge from the questions themselves. They live in the choices we make, the connections that we recognize, and the patterns that we follow. Life offers hints in every moment, a trail of insights that guide us towards clarity and purpose. Every question, every decision, every discovery shapes the path forward. This is the start of a journey filled with momentum and possibility. The direction that it takes depends on the connections you make and the depth of your exploration.